This person loves you, but has a serious problem with your appearance. My beloved child, I see the way your heart becomes quiet when you notice the change in their eyes. I see how your smile fades just a little when you feel that their love is not as warm as it once was. You wonder if something is wrong with you, if perhaps you have lost a light that once made you worthy in their sight. You stand in front of the mirror and search for flaws that I never placed there. You listen to words that were never meant to define your soul. And slowly, without even realizing it, you begin to measure your value by the way someone else looks at your face instead of the way I look at your heart. My beloved child, listen to me carefully, because this truth will protect you from many hidden wounds. A person can love you and still be trapped inside their own fears, their own expectations, their own shallow understanding of beauty. Their struggle with your appearance is not a reflection of your worth, it is a reflection of their unfinished healing. You are not the problem they are trying to solve. You are not a mistake that needs to be corrected. You are not a shape that must be reshaped to earn love. You are a soul that I created with intention, with care, and with a beauty that cannot be reduced to what the eyes can see. I know it confuses you. You feel their affection in some moments. You hear their kind words. You see the way they try to stay close. And yet, there are those small comments, those silent comparisons, those looks that make you feel like you must improve yourself just to remain acceptable. This creates a storm inside you. You begin to ask, if they love me, why do I feel like I am not enough? My beloved child, love that makes you doubt your worth is love that is still learning how to be love. You were never sent into this world to become someone's project. You were never meant to shrink, to hide, to change your body, your face, or your natural self just to keep someone's approval. Real love does not ask you to become smaller so that it can feel bigger. Real love does not place conditions on your existence. Real love sees you as a gift, not as a problem to fix. I want you to remember something very important. The moment you start trying to earn love by changing your appearance, you begin to abandon the version of yourself that I created with purpose. And when you abandon yourself, you feel empty even if the other person stays. That is why your heart feels tired. That is why you feel like you are constantly performing instead of simply being. My beloved child, this person does care for you in their own limited way. Their heart is not completely closed. But they are looking at you through a lens shaped by the world's harsh standards, by their own insecurities, by comparisons that have nothing to do with your truth. They may not even realize how their words and expressions are affecting you. But the impact on your soul is real, and I do not want you to ignore it. You deserve a love that makes you feel safe in your own skin. You deserve a love that does not make you rehearse your smile before showing it. You deserve a love that does not make you check your reflection to see if you are still acceptable. You deserve a love that feels like rest, not like effort. Do not misunderstand me, my child. This is not a message of anger toward them. This is a message of awakening for you. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to prove anything. You only need to return to the truth of who you are. When you remember your own value, the power of their judgment will begin to fade. There is a quiet strength inside you that you have forgotten. It is the strength of knowing that your beauty is not negotiable. It does not increase when someone praises you, and it does not decrease when someone criticizes you. It exists because I placed it there. You are not behind anyone. You are not less than anyone. You are not lacking anything that you need to be loved deeply and fully. The only thing that has been missing is your agreement with this truth. My beloved child. The world has taught many people to confuse attraction with worth and appearance with identity. That is why some hearts struggle to love beyond the surface. But you were not created to be loved only on the surface. You were created to be known, to be felt, to be understood at a level that goes far beyond what the eyes can see. If someone truly loves you, they will grow in their understanding of you. They will learn to see your laughter, your kindness, your resilience, your spirit. They will begin to value the light you carry instead of the shape you wear. If they cannot do this, it does not mean you are unlovable. It simply means they are not yet capable of the depth your soul requires. My beloved child. Stop trying to become more acceptable and start becoming more yourself. Stop adjusting your posture, your voice, your style, your presence just to avoid their criticism. The more you hide, the more you teach them that your true self is negotiable. And your true self is sacred. You are allowed to be seen as you are. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to feel beautiful without asking for permission. You are allowed to exist without being evaluated. I know you fear that if you stop trying to meet their expectations, you might lose them. But listen to this carefully, any love that requires you to lose yourself is already a loss. And any love that is meant for you will meet you in your authenticity, not in your performance. My beloved child. There will come a moment when you will look back and realize that your value was never connected to the shape of your face, the tone of your skin, the size of your body, or the way you present yourself. You will see that the most radiant thing about you has always been your heart, your compassion, your strength, your ability to keep loving even when you felt unseen. Do not let someone's limited vision become the measure of your infinite worth. You are not here to compete with images. You are not here to be compared. You are not here to be perfected. You are here to be alive, to be real, to be whole. And the right love, the love that reflects my truth, will never make you feel like you are too much in some ways and not enough in others. It will hold you gently. It will look at you with gratitude, not evaluation. It will see you as a blessing, not as a compromise. My beloved child. Return to yourself. Stand in front of the mirror and do not search for flaws. Search for the life in your eyes. Search for the story you have survived. Search for the strength that carried you through every moment you thought you were not enough. That is your beauty. That is your truth. And when you walk into a room, do not shrink. Do not apologize for your existence. Do not adjust yourself to fit into someone's limited understanding of what is acceptable. Walk as someone who knows they are loved. Because you are. Whether this person grows or not is their journey. But your journey is to remember who you are. And the moment you fully remember, you will no longer feel small in anyone's presence. My beloved child. You were never the problem. You were never lacking. You were never less. You are, and always have been, more than enough. My beloved child. Stay with me in this moment, because your heart is beginning to understand something it was never taught before. You are starting to see that love is not something you should chase by changing your outer form. Love is something that recognizes your inner truth. And the more you return to your true self, the clearer everything will become. You have spent so much time trying to read their expressions, trying to predict what version of you will be most acceptable. You have adjusted your clothes, your posture, your smile, even the way you laugh. You have held back your natural self just to avoid that one look that makes you feel judged. My beloved child, do you see how exhausting this has been for your soul? You were not created to live in constant self-monitoring. You were created to live freely. The reason your spirit feels heavy is not because you are unworthy. It is because you have been carrying a burden that was never yours. You have been carrying the responsibility of someone else's expectations. And that weight has been pressing down on your joy. But now a new awareness is rising inside you. You are beginning to notice that when you are alone, when no one is watching, you feel lighter. You feel more like yourself. You smile more naturally. You move more freely. That is the real you, the version of you that does not exist for approval but for existence. That is the version of you that I see every moment. My beloved child. The love you are looking for will never ask you to erase that version of yourself. The love that is meant for you will celebrate the way you look when you are not trying to impress anyone. It will find beauty in your natural presence, not in your effort to become someone else. This does not mean you must reject this person with anger or resentment. It means you must stop abandoning yourself for them. There is a difference between loving someone and losing yourself in the process. True love allows both people to remain whole. Right now, you are at a turning point. You can continue trying to become what you think they want, or you can become who you truly are. The first path leads to constant anxiety. The second path leads to peace, even if it requires courage. I know you are afraid. You fear that if you stop trying, they will stop loving you. But ask yourself this gently. If their love disappears when you stop performing, was it ever love for you, or was it love for an image you were trying to maintain? My beloved child. You deserve to be loved in your natural state, when you wake up, when you are tired, when you are laughing too loudly, when you are not perfectly put together, when you are simply existing. That is real intimacy. That is real connection. Do not confuse criticism with care. Someone can say they want the best for you while still projecting their own insecurities onto you. Their discomfort with your appearance may come from their fear of judgment, their desire to control, or their misunderstanding of beauty. But none of those things define you. You are not responsible for managing someone else's image of you. You are not responsible for fitting into their ideal. You are not responsible for shrinking your light so they can feel comfortable. My beloved child. The moment you begin to honor yourself, something powerful will happen. You will notice that their words lose their ability to wound you. You will hear them, but you will not absorb them. You will stand in your truth, and your energy will change. And when your energy changes, one of two things will happen: either they will begin to grow and see you differently, or you will outgrow the need for their validation. Both outcomes lead to your freedom. Do not rush this process. Healing your relationship with yourself takes time. Speak kindly to your reflection. Wear what makes you feel alive, not what makes you feel acceptable. Move through the world as someone who knows they are worthy of being seen. My beloved child, your body is not an object for evaluation. It is a home for your soul. Your face is not a problem to solve. It is a story of everything you have lived. Every feature you have carries intention. Nothing about you was created by accident. When you begin to see yourself with compassion, you will stop seeking permission to exist. You will stop asking, "Am I enough?" and you will start knowing, "I am." And that knowing will change the way others see you. Not because you have changed your appearance, but because you have changed your presence. Confidence that comes from self-acceptance is more radiant than any surface perfection. My beloved child, there are people who will look at you and see only your outer form. And there are people who will look at you and feel your soul. Do not sacrifice your authenticity trying to satisfy those who cannot see beyond the surface. The ones who are meant for you will recognize your depth. You are not here to be universally approved. You are here to be truly known by those who can meet you in truth. Right now, I want you to place your hand over your heart and feel your own presence. Feel your breath. Feel the life inside you. This is your proof of worth. Not someone's opinion, not someone's preference, not someone's comparison. Your existence itself is enough. My beloved child, you have been waiting for someone else to tell you that you are beautiful. But I have been telling you this since the moment you were created. You are beautiful in your resilience. You are beautiful in your kindness. You are beautiful in your ability to keep loving even when you feel uncertain. And the more you accept this, the less power external judgments will have over you. Do not try to force this person to change. People grow when they are ready. Your task is not to fix them. Your task is to protect your peace. Set gentle boundaries in your heart. When you hear words that make you feel small, remind yourself silently, this is their perception, not my truth. When you feel the urge to change yourself for approval, pause and ask, am I honoring myself right now? My beloved child, you are learning one of the most important lessons of your life. Your value does not come from being desired, it comes from being authentic. Desire can be shallow. Authenticity is sacred. You are not losing love. You are losing the illusion that love must be earned by appearance. And what you gain in its place is self-respect, self-acceptance, and eventually, a deeper form of love that does not require performance. Trust this process. Even if it feels uncomfortable, it is leading you back to yourself. You are not alone. You are not unseen. You are not unworthy. You are becoming someone who knows their own light, and once you know your light, no one's limited vision can make you feel small again. My beloved child, you are still listening, and that tells me your heart is ready to receive what it once resisted. You are beginning to understand that your journey is not about being chosen by someone else, but about choosing yourself with the same tenderness you offer to others. For so long, You believed that if you could just improve one more thing about your appearance, everything would feel secure. You thought their love would become steady, their eyes would soften, their words would feel safer. But each time you reached that new standard, another silent expectation appeared. This is how you slowly learned that the problem was never your appearance, it was the idea that love had to be earned through change. My beloved child, love is not a reward for transformation. Love is a recognition of essence. And your essence has never been flawed. I know there were moments when you compared yourself to others, when you wondered why they seemed more easily accepted. You looked at their faces, their bodies, their style, and you asked yourself what you were missing. But what you did not see was that you were comparing your inner insecurities to someone else's outer image. You were measuring your depth against their surface. You do not need to win anyone's approval to be worthy of care. You do not need to compete for affection. You do not need to become someone else to deserve to be held with respect. My beloved child, there is a quiet dignity growing inside you now. It is the dignity of someone who no longer begs to be seen. It is the dignity of someone who stands in their own presence and says, "This is who I am, and I will not apologize for it." This dignity does not make you distant. It makes you peaceful. It removes the desperation that once made you overthink every interaction. It frees you from the constant need to analyze their reactions. You will notice that when you stop trying to impress, you start to feel lighter. When you stop trying to meet an impossible standard, your natural beauty begins to shine. Not because you have changed, but because you have stopped hiding. My beloved child, if this person truly cares for you, they will feel this shift. They will notice that you are no longer seeking validation. They will sense your self-respect. And this may invite them to reflect on their own behavior. Sometimes, your self-acceptance becomes a mirror that encourages others to grow. But even if they do not change, you will no longer feel trapped. Because your happiness will not depend on their approval. Your peace will come from your alignment with your own truth. Do you see how powerful this is? You are moving from a place of fear to a place of freedom. You are learning that your reflection is not your identity. Your body is not your value. Your appearance is not your purpose. Your purpose is to live fully, to love deeply, to express yourself without fear of being judged for simply existing. My beloved child, there will come a day very soon when you will look at yourself and feel a quiet pride. Not because you match someone's standard, but because you stayed true to yourself. You will realize that the most attractive thing about you is your authenticity. People are drawn to those who are comfortable in their own presence. They feel safe around those who are not constantly trying to prove their worth. When you accept yourself, you give others permission to accept you as well. And the right people, the ones who see beyond the surface, will not just tolerate your appearance, they will cherish it. They will see your uniqueness as something rare and beautiful. My beloved child, stop replaying their critical words in your mind. Those words were never meant to become your inner voice. Replace them with compassion. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love. Say, "I am enough as I am." Say, "I am allowed to take up space." Say, my worth is not defined by someone's preference. These are not just affirmations. They are truths that your soul already knows. You are not difficult to love. You are not too much. You are not lacking. You have simply been standing in a place where your light was not fully recognized. My beloved child. Release the need to be perfect. Perfection is a moving target that keeps you trapped in self-doubt. Real beauty lives in your expressions, your laughter, your kindness, your thoughts, your presence. It lives in the way you care for others and the way you keep going even when you feel uncertain. There is nothing wrong with wanting to grow, to take care of yourself, to express yourself through your appearance. But it must come from love, not from fear. When you choose your style, your grooming, your presentation from a place of self-expression rather than self-correction, it becomes joyful instead of exhausting. You are allowed to enjoy your appearance without feeling judged by it. My beloved child. Let this be the moment you stop asking, will they still love me if I don't change, and start asking, do I love myself enough to remain authentic? That question will guide you toward peace. Because the relationship you have with yourself is the foundation of every other relationship in your life. When that foundation is strong, no external opinion can shake you. You are not alone in this transformation. I am with you in every step you take towards self-acceptance. I am with you when you choose clothes that make you feel alive. I am with you when you look at your reflection with kindness. I am with you when you refuse to shrink for someone else's comfort. My beloved child. You are not meant to live in comparison. You are meant to live in expression. You are not meant to be evaluated. You are meant to be experienced. And, the love that is aligned with your soul will not make you feel like you are under inspection. It will make you feel like you are at home. Trust what you are learning. Trust the discomfort that is leading you toward freedom. Trust the quiet voice inside you that is telling you to return to yourself. You are not losing anything by honoring your truth. You are gaining yourself. And when you fully stand in who you are, without apology, without fear, without the need to perform, you will realize that you were never waiting for someone else to love you. You were waiting to remember that you are already loved, already worthy, already complete. My beloved child. You are enough. Not someday. Not when you change. Not when you improve. You are enough now, exactly as you are. My beloved child. Let these words settle gently inside you, because you are not just hearing them, you are becoming them. The truth you once doubted is now beginning to feel familiar, like a home you had forgotten you owned. You spent so much of your life believing that acceptance comes from meeting expectations. You thought if you could just become more appealing, more polished, more aligned with what someone prefers, then love would finally feel safe. But love that depends on constant adjustment is not safety, it is performance. You were never meant to perform for love. You were meant to receive it. My beloved child. Think about the moments when you felt most alive, when you were laughing without thinking about how you looked, when you were speaking passionately about something you care about, when you were simply present without analyzing yourself. In those moments, you were not trying to be beautiful, yet you were radiant. That is your natural state. That is your truth. Your beauty has never been in your effort to impress. It has always been in your authenticity. You are now learning to shift your focus. Instead of asking, "How do they see me?" you are beginning to ask, "How do I feel within myself?" This shift is the doorway to freedom. Because when you feel at peace within, no external opinion can control your sense of worth. My beloved child, there may still be days when old thoughts return. You may still hear that inner voice repeating their criticisms. Do not fight it with anger. Meet it with compassion. Say gently, "I no longer believe this." Healing is not the absence of old thoughts, it is the choice not to live by them. Each time you choose kindness toward yourself, you weaken the hold of those old beliefs. Each time you show up as your real self, you strengthen your confidence. This is how transformation happens, quietly, steadily, from within. You do not need to announce your change. You do not need to prove anything. Your peace will speak for you. My beloved child. As you grow in self-acceptance, you will notice something beautiful. You will start attracting different energy. People who value depth will feel drawn to you. Conversations will feel more genuine. Connections will feel more balanced. You will no longer feel like you have to earn your place in someone's life. And if this person remains in your life, your dynamic with them will change. You will no longer look at them for validation. You will meet them as an equal, not as someone seeking approval. This changes the entire emotional structure of the relationship. You are not above them. You are not below them. You are simply yourself. My beloved child. There is great power in self-respect. It does not make you cold, it makes you clear. It allows you to recognize what is healthy and what is not. It allows you to accept love that feels supportive and to gently step back from what feels diminishing. You do not need to reject anyone harshly. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to create emotional distance from words and attitudes that harm your peace. This is not punishment, this is protection. Your heart deserves to feel safe. Your mind deserves to feel calm. Your spirit deserves to feel free. My beloved child. Stop waiting for a perfect moment to feel confident. Confidence is not something that appears after you change, it is something that grows when you accept yourself. It is built through small daily choices, the way you speak to yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you allow yourself to be seen. Walk into your day without apologizing for your existence. Smile without checking if it looks right. Speak without rehearsing your words. These simple acts are powerful declarations that you accept yourself. You are not trying to become someone new. You are returning to who you have always been. My beloved child. The world may still try to measure you by appearance. Some people may still hold narrow views of beauty. But you are no longer bound by those views. You are learning to see yourself through a deeper lens, a lens of compassion, truth, and inner worth. And when you see yourself this way, you will also begin to see others differently. You will value their kindness over their image, their authenticity over their perfection. You will form connections that are rooted in reality, not in comparison. This is how you break the cycle, not just for yourself, but for everyone you encounter. My beloved child. There is nothing wrong with being appreciated for how you look. But your worth does not depend on it. Appreciation is a gift, worth is your birthright. Never confuse the two. You do not need constant reassurance to be valuable. You do not need admiration to be meaningful. You do not need approval to be enough. You are enough because you exist. Let that truth become the foundation of your life. My beloved child. From this moment forward, choose to treat yourself with the same gentleness you offer to those you love. When you make a mistake, do not criticize your appearance. When you feel insecure, do not withdraw from the world. When you hear judgment, do not internalize it. Instead, return to your center. Breathe. Remember who you are. You are not an object to be evaluated. You are a soul to be experienced. You are a life to be lived. And the love that is meant for you, whether it comes from this person after they grow, or from someone who already sees your worth, will not ask you to change your essence. It will meet you where you are and celebrate who you are. My beloved child. You are not behind in life because of how you look. You are not less deserving of happiness. You are not waiting for permission to be confident. Your time to live freely is now. Stand in front of the mirror tonight and look at yourself not with criticism, but with recognition. See the strength in your eyes. See the story in your face. See the life that has carried you through every moment of doubt. That is beauty. That is resilience. That is you. And as you move forward, carry this knowing with you: you do not need to change to be loved. You only need to remember that you already are. My beloved child. You are worthy of a love that feels like peace. You are worthy of a love that feels like acceptance. You are worthy of a love that feels like home. And most importantly, you are worthy of your own love, fully, freely, and without condition. My beloved child. Come closer to this truth, because now you are ready to live it, not just hear it. The words you have received were not meant to remain in your mind, they were meant to settle into your actions, your posture, your daily choices. Understanding your worth is the beginning, but living as someone who knows their worth is the transformation. You will wake up on some mornings and the old habit will try to return. You will look in the mirror and for a moment you will search for something to fix. In that moment, pause. Do not rush to judge yourself. Breathe and remember, you are not an image to correct, you are a life to experience. Your reflection is not asking for criticism, it is asking for kindness. My beloved child. Kindness toward yourself is not pride. It is healing. You have spent so long being your own harsh observer that gentleness may feel unfamiliar at first. But the more you practice it, the more natural it will become. When you choose clothes now, choose them because they express you, not because they hide you. When you walk into a room, walk with the quiet understanding that you belong there, not because someone approves of your appearance, but because your presence is enough. This is how you reclaim your power, not by changing your outer form, but by changing your relationship with yourself. My beloved child. You may still care for this person, and that is okay. Your heart does not need to close in order to protect itself. But your heart does need boundaries. You can love someone and still refuse to accept words or attitudes that diminish you. Love without boundaries becomes self-neglect. If they speak in ways that make you feel small, you do not need to argue. You do not need to defend your appearance. Simply hold your inner truth and do not absorb their judgment. Over time, they will either learn to meet you with respect, or they will feel the distance created by your self-respect. Both outcomes serve your growth. My beloved child, you are not responsible for teaching someone how to see your beauty. You are responsible for seeing it yourself. Once you do, the need for external validation begins to fade. You will notice something new. You will spend less time thinking about how you look and more time thinking about how you feel, what you love, what you want to create, where you want to go. Your life will expand beyond the narrow space of appearance. This is freedom. You were never meant to live in a constant state of self-evaluation. You were meant to live in expression, curiosity, and joy. My beloved child, there is a deep peace that comes when you stop trying to control how others perceive you. You realize that their perception is shaped by their own experiences, their own insecurities, their own preferences. It is not a measure of your value. You cannot control their vision, but you can choose your truth. And your truth is this: you are whole, you are worthy, you are enough. My beloved child, as you continue forward, you will begin to attract relationships that reflect this new understanding. You will feel the difference immediately. There will be no subtle pressure to change, no hidden comparisons, no silent evaluations. You will feel accepted as you are, and that acceptance will allow you to relax, to laugh freely, to exist without fear. This is the kind of connection your soul has always deserved. But even before those connections fully appear, you already have something precious, a relationship with yourself that is no longer based on criticism. That relationship will sustain you through every season of your life. My beloved child, do not rush your growth. Some days you will feel confident, other days you may feel uncertain. This does not mean you are going backward. Healing is not a straight line. What matters is that each time you return to self-compassion, you are strengthening a new foundation. Celebrate the small victories, the moments you do not compare yourself, the moments you speak kindly to yourself, the moments you show up without trying to impress. These moments are signs that you are becoming free. You are not trying to become perfect. You are learning to become peaceful. My beloved child, remember that your worth has never been dependent on being desired. Desire can be temporary and conditional. Your worth is permanent and unconditional. It existed before anyone formed an opinion about you, and it will remain regardless of what anyone says. Let that realization remove the pressure you have been carrying. You do not need to earn your place in this world. You already have it. You do not need to compete for love. You do not need to transform for acceptance. You do not need to hide to feel safe. You only need to be. My beloved child, look at how far you have come. You began this journey feeling uncertain, questioning yourself, wondering if you needed to change to be loved. Now you are standing in a new understanding. That love begins within you, that your authenticity is your strength, that your appearance does not define your value. This is not a small realization. This is a rebirth of your self-image. Carry this awareness into every interaction. Let it guide the way you speak, the way you move, the way you see yourself and others. Let it remind you that you are not here to be evaluated, you are here to live. My beloved child. There will always be voices in the world that try to reduce people to appearances. But you are no longer living by those voices. You are living by a deeper truth, the truth that your essence is what makes you beautiful, and your essence cannot be diminished by anyone's opinion. Stand in that truth. Walk in that truth. Live in that truth. And as you do, you will notice that the fear of being judged begins to fade. In its place, you will feel calm. You will feel grounded. You will feel free. My beloved child. You are not waiting for someone to finally see your worth. You see it now. And that changes everything. You are no longer trying to be enough. You know that you are enough. You are no longer seeking acceptance. You are living in self-acceptance. You are no longer shrinking. You are expanding into your true self. And as you move forward, remember this always. You were never created to fit into someone else's idea of beauty. You were created to embody your own. You are loved. You are worthy. You are complete. My beloved child. Let this final wave of truth settle deeply into your spirit, because what you are becoming now is not just someone who understands their worth, but someone who lives from it every day. You are no longer standing at the door of self-acceptance, you are walking inside it. There was a time when you believed that if someone had a problem with your appearance, then something must be wrong with you. You carried their discomfort as if it were your responsibility to fix. You adjusted, you questioned, you doubted. But now you see clearly, another person's preference is not your identity. Their limitation is not your definition. You are not a reflection of their expectations. You are an expression of your own soul. My beloved child. Think about how much energy you once spent trying to become acceptable. Now imagine what your life feels like when that energy is returned to you. It becomes creativity. It becomes confidence. It becomes peace. The same energy that once fueled self-doubt now fuels self-respect. This is why you feel different. You are no longer trapped in the cycle of trying to earn love. You are living from the understanding that love begins within you. You will notice that your posture changes. You stand a little taller, not to appear impressive, but because you are no longer carrying the weight of judgment. Your smile becomes more natural, because it is not being measured. Your presence becomes calmer, because you are not analyzing yourself. This is what freedom looks like. My beloved child. There may still be moments when this person looks at you with the same old lens. But it will no longer shake you. You will see their perception as something separate from your truth. You will not absorb it. You will not fight it. You will simply remain in your own knowing. And that knowing is powerful. Because when you stop reacting to judgment, you remove its power over you. My beloved child. You are learning that your value is constant. It does not rise when someone praises your appearance, and it does not fall when someone criticizes it. It remains steady, rooted in something deeper than external approval. This steadiness will guide you in every relationship. You will no longer feel the need to shape yourself to be liked. You will choose connections where you can be fully yourself. And if you ever feel that familiar pressure to change for acceptance, you will recognize it quickly and step back into your truth. You are developing discernment, the ability to recognize what honors you and what diminishes you. My beloved child, the love you give yourself now will influence every part of your life. It will change the way you speak, the way you make decisions, the way you allow others to treat you. It will create a quiet boundary that says, I respect myself, and I expect to be respected. This boundary does not need to be spoken loudly. It is felt through your energy. People will sense that you are no longer available for criticism disguised as care. They will sense that you are grounded in your own worth. And the right people will respond to this with respect and warmth. My beloved child, you are not rejecting love, you are refining it. You are moving away from conditional approval and toward genuine connection. You are no longer interested in being admired for your appearance alone. You are ready to be valued for your heart, your mind, your presence. This shift will bring you relationships that feel deeper, calmer, and more authentic. You will laugh more freely. You will speak more honestly. You will exist without constant self-awareness. This is the life you were meant to live. My beloved child, let go of the last traces of the belief that you must become different to be loved. You are not a before and after story. You are not a project. You are not an unfinished version waiting to be improved. You are whole now. There is nothing missing from you that is required for love. There is nothing wrong with you that needs to be corrected. There is nothing about you that makes you less deserving. You are complete in your natural form. My beloved child, from this day forward, let your relationship with your reflection be one of friendship. Look at yourself and see someone who has grown, someone who has learned, someone who has chosen self-compassion over self-criticism. See someone who refused to be defined by another person's limited vision. That is strength. That is beauty. That is transformation. And if this person remains in your life, you will meet them from a place of equality, not insecurity. You will no longer seek their approval. You will simply share your presence. This changes everything. Because love that meets you at your true level has the opportunity to grow into something healthier. But even if it does not, you are no longer afraid. You know that your peace does not depend on them. My beloved child, you have come back to yourself. That was always the journey. Not changing your face, not changing your body, not changing your essence, but changing the way you see yourself. You now understand that your appearance is just one small part of your existence, and it does not define your worth. Your worth is defined by your humanity, your kindness, your resilience, your authenticity. Carry this knowing into every moment. When you walk outside, walk as someone who belongs in the world. When you speak, speak as someone whose voice matters. When you love, love as someone who does not need to perform to be accepted. This is your new beginning. My beloved child, you were never meant to be measured. You were never meant to be compared. You were never meant to be changed for approval. You were meant to be yourself, fully, freely, and without fear. And now you are. You are no longer waiting to be seen. You see yourself. You are no longer waiting to be accepted. You accept yourself. You are no longer waiting to be loved. You live in love. My beloved child. Rest in this truth: you are enough, you have always been enough, and you will always be enough. Not because someone finally recognizes it, but because it has been your reality from the very beginning.